the national flag of Norway here in beautiful Bergen. This is us at the entrance of the fjord that takes you into Bergen. Those beautiful houses. At the very end is a pier. You probably can't see it, but people are swimming there, diving off that float and swimming in this fjord. It's really pretty.
I thought it was a band.
This is not music that I've supplied. It's coming from the Seaborn Quest next door. It's somehow celebrating the beginning of the parade of the tall boats. This one down here is sort of like a Viking boat. The rest of it looks like the parade of the rowboats. Although off in the distance we can see some tall boats under sail that appear to be headed this way. Now we're on foot in Bergen, and this looks up the little channel where the tall boats come in. Today is the festival of the tall boats, I guess, the tall mast, and they come up this little channel. There'll be more about that later. It's really pretty. The odd thing is we're way up here in Norway, and it's 85 degrees. Even the locals say they don't ever remember it being this hot. We've got suitcases filled with heavy-duty sweaters, bulky turtlenecks, gloves, hats, and it's 85 degrees. I'm walking around in shorts and a little t-shirt. Well, we're here in downtown Bergen. For some reason, they've got a statue of Johnny Depp right here in the middle. Got these beautiful buildings. Then up on the hill, there are other houses built up there. And then we're about to walk down this street. Whatever's down there, God knows. It's awfully busy today. This is the big festival day, the parade of the tall ships. This tall boats thing is very festive. This is a stage where a bunch of old men, they look like veterans, are singing what seem to be war chanties. There are food booths around here, and people with their children, and it's a crowded, festive place. This is one of the food booths out here. This one specializes in cured meats and cheeses, as well as a bunch of other items, various kind of appetizer things, and olive cheese stuff, peppers, and various stuff. It's really pretty. It looks delicious. I haven't had a chance to taste any yet. It's only about 10 o'clock in the morning so far. These are silly street performers, and they seem to be performing some kind of a body comedy. Can't understand the language, of course. As I said, it's still rather early in the festivities here, and this is a group of guys who are rehearsing for performances later in the day, and they're singing a sort of a Norwegian bluegrass. You got banjos and guitars and stuff. Later in the day, this venue is crowded with people loving this. This is a rock group called the Funky Penguins. Not very good, but they play with great fervor. No question as to who cut the cheese. This is the biggest boat we saw come in. It's called the Statsrad Lemkuhl. Drew big oohs and ahs. As the Statsrad pulled slowly up this fjord, crowded with people on both sides, the crew was on board as singing in unison, singing old sea chanties. And periodically someone would shoot off a cannon. It was very exciting. This is a picture of the Statsrad that's utilized on the flyers around town, sort of notifying people of this upcoming tall ships festivities. Look at all the men up in the Statsrad's rigging. Many, many singing as they go. This is a boat that did not win the tall boat race. The boat's about 9 feet long with a 2-year-old driving. Got a winch on the back though. Those are men up in the rigging of the old Statsrod. There are about 15 guys way up there at the top. Just like the old days, I guess. This was a stand selling paella, cooked right on site. There's a lot of whale meat eaten up here in Norway. And this is a place selling whale burgers, doing a brisk business, I might add. Later in the day, we stopped at another restaurant for lunch, a little nicer sit-down place, and Pammy had whale steak. It's actually very good. It's strangely dark. It's a dark meat, but it tastes like beef. It has a thick texture, kind of dense because there's no fat. But Pammy just loved hers, ate 2 big chunks, and I ate some of it, and it was actually very good. This is at the fish market, and these large, darkish chunks you see to the right of this photograph is the steak meat. It's so dark, it's kind of unappealing in that context, but it's certainly popular up here. This is another fish we saw in the fish market. I think it's a very large monkfish. It looks like something from a Steven Spielberg science fiction movie to me. Kind of a Yoda-like creature. After we left the tall boats festivities, we walked around town. This is just an incredibly beautiful place. The guidebooks and the locals say many hail it as the most photogenic town in the world. It is really unbelievably picturesque. Beautiful buildings, churches, all built on the water. Everything here is waterfront property, just washed by these ocean breezes. Beautiful, clean buildings down by the waterside, beautiful boathouses, boats, and then they build up on the hillsides. And what isn't occupied by these beautiful homes is covered with heavy timber. It's really something else. Truly a beautiful place. And then Pammy and I had to wait for a few moments for a bus to leave so we could take the picture I wanted to take. And this is upcoming here is a picture of Pammy sitting on the grass in the park. We were sitting there waiting. A little ways over to the side of us were 2 young women. They looked like they were locals, wearing tiny bikinis. I perved on them a little bit, but I didn't have the nerve to actually take their picture. Pammy was making fun of me here. These are some guys making wood the old-fashioned way. I don't know if this didn't look like it was just set up as a tourist gimmick. It looked like a real workshop with guys really working. I don't know what the heck's going on. This is a wishing well where you can donate to support this heritage site. I want to support the site. I didn't have any change, so I just threw my credit card down there. These are some shots taken from the boat as we're leaving. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is so beautiful. It's amazing. Some of these shots you're going to see coming up were taken through the window of our boat. I was inside. Didn't know how pretty it was going to be, or I would have been somewhere else. And sometimes there's some reflection in the glass, and I apologize for that. But it's so pretty, I had to include them anyway. More houses perched up on these sheer granite cliffs. As we cruise out this fjord, it just gets prettier and prettier. Look up there. Those beautiful houses set in that solid granite rock. At the foot of this bridge, cliffs straight down to the water. I mean, this really is one of the most beautiful and scenic cities in the world. And down here, these boats are ripping by. There goes a gray one. That's some kind of government boat. And then another bridge here. Look at that. And it's not just a small part of this town that is scenic. It's all wrapped around these rocky cliffs with fjords cut through, going this way and that way, and cross fjords and little fjords within fjords. And then all the building up in the mountains and the rocks looking down. It's pretty darn staggering to me how much you can see over there. But that reddish barn-looking house sits inside that little cove, and there are people all over out on that rocky point, bathing and swimming, and there are people in the water. It's like they've got their own private beach. And there's the gray house with the little boat in front. I mean, this goes on forever. We're not talking about a small scenic spot. We're talking about... And it's on the other side of the fjord. It's about a quarter of a mile across. And it's duplicated over there, the same kind of incredible rocky beauty with houses perched up looking down into this beautiful crystal clear water. And people are out swimming today. I mean, it's so hot where I am. I'm sitting out here on one of these decks. It's where the swimming pool is, where I am now, drinking rum and cokes and watching all this go by. And I'm just staggered. I've taken about 10 shots of this because each time I look out, it seems to be more beautiful than the last time.